What's up everybody, Jemillio here with another SUPERX review. Now if you're new here, welcome. One of the things that I like to do when I'm talking about the new drops that SUPERX comes out with is to change my wallpapers back here to focus on what the new character focus is. And in this case, it's Assassin's Creed. I'm really excited for this one because this is SUPERX's first take on a video game character, a first officially licensed video game character franchise. And one of the things that I'm excited about is Assassin's Creed 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. I love Assassin's Creed 2. This came out at a time when we were in what I like to call the HD era of gaming. True high definition, even truly refined online play. So for example, before we had the Xbox, we had the GameCube, we had the PS2, all great systems in their own right. I had all three actually. Like I had an Xbox and GameCube at first, and later on I got a PS2. They all had their own different games and some of their own great exclusives. But when we got into the Xbox 360 and the PS3, it was like graphic fidelity that we had never seen before. It just, environments were bigger, the processors were faster, you were able to have so many more characters on screen at the same time, you had more options in game because they were just bigger. You had more memory that you could put on these discs now. And one of those games that came out and kind of shook the gaming world by storm was the Assassin's Creed franchise. It was the first one where you play Altair. You first learn about this kind of this brotherhood and how they work, and it was a fun game, but it had its problems. Like the combat was a little wanky. The protagonist Altair was a little kind of boring, kind of bland. They didn't really give him much of a personality, but I still enjoyed the game. Still had fun with it. And I looked forward to their next installment. And when they came out with Assassin's Creed 2, it was like every problem that the first game had, this second one fixed. People liked it so much, including myself, that this character got 3 games of that just focusing on him. Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelation. I'm a big fan of Connor in Assassin's Creed 3, and I'm a big fan of Edward in Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. But to me, one of my favorites will still be Assassin's Creed 2. There are very few games that I list as like my top games of all time. Like a few of them, just as an example, would be like BioShock, Batman Arkham City, and Assassin's Creed 2 is definitely on that list. I got to think of a list of like what my top games of all time are. But anyway, one of my favorite games of all time. So I was very excited to see that SUPERX decided to focus on not just the Assassin's Creed games in general, but specifically Ezio. So that's what this drop is. There are 7 items. It's a big drop. It's officially licensed by Ubisoft. So this is not like an inspired by drop. This is officially licensed Ezio Assassin's Creed gear. So we're gonna go through all of it. We have a hoodie and jogger set. We have a performance short sleeve. We have a performance long sleeve that's like white or kind of off gray if you want to call it, a dark gray performance long sleeve. And then we have 2 mesh shorts. We have a light version and a dark version. So a lot of stuff to go over here. I'm going to show you all of it. I'm going to go into detail on all of it, sizing, all that stuff. So stick around because I'm going to get right into it now. I'm 5'10", 185 pounds. I'm wearing a size large in the hoodie and the joggers. And as you can see, the color is kind of like an off-white. It is not straight white. It has a little bit more of an elongated design, which I like. That's how most SUPERX clothes are, most SUPERX hoodies are, I should say. And as we come in close, you can see the Assassin's Creed logo embroidered there on the front. And they have this great mesh material that's on the chest. So it kind of makes that wing design that Ezio has on his chest. And as we come down, there are 2 zipper pockets on each side. The zippers are great depth. They're not too big, but definitely not too small. You can get your whole hand in there. And as you come down the arm, you can see some red detail stitching there. And down when we get to the forearm, it's that same mesh material that's on the chest. The blend on this feels great because it's cotton polyester and spandex. It keeps you warm because, you know, cotton polyester is gonna keep you warm, but wind can still get through. So because of that large cotton percentage, air is able to kind of get in and out easily. Polyester kind of gives it that nice silky smooth feel, so it feels light. It doesn't feel heavy at all. And then spandex, of course, is gonna give it that stretch so it moves with you. At the very top, you can see here, this is called a zipper garage. So what it does is, I've never had an issue with the zipper clipping on my facial hair or anything like that, but if you have that issue, then this kind of stops the zipper from clipping your chin or clipping your facial hair. When we come around the back, you can see it's mostly plain, it's simple, there isn't a bunch of nonsense going on, but at the very, very bottom, it says, "Nothing is true, everything is permitted," one of the sayings in the Assassin's Creed franchise. And I like it because it's small. It's really not big. It's just small enough that you can see it, and it's like, if you know, you know. What about the hood? Does the hood match the character? And yes, it does. I'm gonna get into that right now. The hood is interesting because it's definitely big enough, and they really accentuated kind of that peak point. And I like this hood a lot, and I'll tell you why. One is you can kind of wear it a couple of ways. You can kind of barely pull the hood down a little bit and have a little more hanging off the back. And that way, you know, your peak will be down here just a bit. Or if you want to pull it all the way down and have it kind of down to the bridge of your nose, you can. Now, one thing that impressed me so much about the design of this hood is, what if you're someone like me who, I don't want the hood pulled all the way down. I don't want the peak hanging down the middle of my nose like that. Is the hood just gonna slip around? This hood is double lined, but there's an interesting thing about the double lining. The lining on this kind of mesh-like material is the same as the material that's on the chest and the forearm. It's just a different color. So I have more coarse hair. I don't have straight hair, so I don't know how this would fall on your head if you have like really straight hair, if you're bald or something like that. I'm assuming it'll do the same with other kinds of hair, but on my hair, this kind of grippy mesh material, it actually kind of sticks to my hair. So I like that because if I pull the hood where I want it, I can move my head around. I don't want the hood dropping down. I don't want it falling off my head. If you like the hood in a specific spot with the peak at a certain point, it's gonna stay there. Again, I don't know how it is if you're bald or have really, really straight hair. I'm not sure. But if you have a little more texture to your hair, at least just speaking from my experience, this kind of grips it and it keeps it from sliding around. I don't know if they did that on purpose. I don't know if it's just like a happy accident, but I thought that was a really cool design feature and it made me love this hoodie even more. So that's pretty much what the hoodie is. I think it looks great. I think they nailed the color. It is that lighter color, so if someone that gets dirt on yourself real easy or you splatter your food around, just be careful. But I like the fact there isn't a ton of pockets and stuff on here. There isn't a ton of red lines and stuff. There isn't a bunch of piping and stitching all down the torso. It's something that the design itself is very bold. However, it still looks something that I could see myself wearing in a commercial gym. So in my opinion, they nailed this design. I absolutely love it. Now let's go on to the joggers. Again, I'm wearing a large in these as well. These are just as detailed as the hoodie. So first off, you have that same color, that same kind of off-white. You have this almost wing design that comes down the calf in stitches, which I like. I like how they didn't go with piping here. You have this mesh material down here on the side where the red is, so you get kind of extra breathability because this material is thinner than the rest of the material here. So you get like a little bit of extra mobility, extra flexibility. You have 2 zipper pockets on each side, or I should say 1 zipper pocket on each side, 2 zipper pockets total. At the very back, that material goes all around the waistband and you have SUPERX that is on there. It's stuck on there. It's rubber. The letters on there are rubber. And on the left side of the leg, you have, again, nothing is true, everything is permitted. Very small, you don't really notice it unless you're looking for it. My thoughts on the joggers are they're great. Even if I didn't get the hoodie and I just got the joggers, I would rock these joggers. I think they look great, they feel great. And when you wear them all together with the set, it just kind of pulls everything together. So no complaints here on the joggers. Me personally, there's really nothing that I would change on those. I think they look great, they feel great. I wouldn't add anything or take it away. So now we're gonna go into the performance t-shirt, then we're gonna get into the long sleeves and then the shorts. The performance short sleeve is a size large, and this is not a compression shirt. It fits looser, it hugs your arms well, hugs your chest, but it does open up more in the body. So if you're not looking for something that's like a compression shirt, this is gonna be right up your alley. I like the fact that it's flowy. I like the fact that it's more loose, feels great. This has no cotton at all. It's just polyester and spandex. It's the same off-white color and the same dark red as the hoodie and jogger set, so it matches perfectly. The details on this, you have in the middle the Assassin's Creed logo, and this is like a rubber patch that's on here. The red is this mesh type material, so it feels more breathable underneath the armpits, which feels great. Again, there really is nothing that I would change on here. I wouldn't add more logoing, I wouldn't add more stitching, I wouldn't add more piping, I wouldn't add more red. Like, I think what they have on here looks great, and I like this t-shirt a lot. I'm gonna first talk about the light long sleeve, then I'll get into the darker one. Now, the long sleeve is a lot different than the short sleeve. One thing that some of you guys may be thinking as well is the short sleeve just the long sleeve with the arms chopped off. And no, it feels totally different in a few ways, and I'm gonna tell you why. The first thing is the logo is embroidered. It is not a rubber patch like it is on the short sleeve. The second thing is the material on this is thicker. The short sleeve felt a lot looser, it felt thinner, it felt more flowy. This feels more like a compression top. It does not feel like a loose fitting t-shirt. Also, they mimic the design of having the underarm area and the torso, the side torso, be this mesh material, but the mesh material on the t-shirt felt thinner, felt lighter, felt like it was just polyester and spandex. This feels like the same mesh material on the long sleeve like the hoodie has, so it feels thicker. When you come down to the forearms, it's also mesh, so you have, it's a kind of a darker color, but it's the same mesh as the side. Again, this feels like the same that's on the actual hoodie. It feels like it's cotton. So just keep that in mind. Like, I like this a lot. The only change I might make was maybe making the logo rubber instead of embroidered, but I don't really see that as like a problem. It's more just kind of a design preference. Now let me pull out the dark version for you. I'm wearing a large in this one as well, and everything about the design in terms of the materials used and everything is the same. The only difference is it's this kind of gunmetal. The red is the same. So it really just comes down to personal preference. They also, at the forearms, they went with black instead of a gunmetal gray. Now this one I don't care for as much, because to me, I don't like how the black looks with that gunmetal. I would have preferred if it was like either just the same color gray or maybe slightly darker, but going from gunmetal gray to just straight black, it doesn't look as homogeneous as the other one does. That's just my opinion. I want to hear your guys' opinion actually too. Let me know what you think. Do you like the black on this, or would you have liked to see like a different color on the forearms? It's kind of reminiscent of what he wore in Assassin's Creed Revelations, what Ezio wore in Assassin's Creed Revelations. If you're wondering like why they went, you know, with this dark version. And not everybody likes light colored stuff, so it kind of gives you some more options. But those are my thoughts on the long sleeves. Now let's get right into the mesh shorts. Let's talk about the light one, then we'll talk about the dark one. Now these shorts are very interesting. I'm wearing a medium in both of these. I should not be wearing a medium. Medium's too tight on me. I wear large in shorts. I would suggest go true to size on these. I'm gonna get into sizing later. But a medium in these, and I like these. So you have this Assassin's Creed kind of logo all on the shorts. You have red trim on them. You have an Assassin's Creed embroidered logo on the left leg, and then on the right leg you have the side profile of Ezio with the Assassin's Creed logo and kind of the animus lines that you see there. And then right on the bottom right it says, "We work in the dark to serve the light." Nothing on the back. I like these shorts. These shorts are very comfortable. The interesting thing about these shorts is there's a liner inside, and it's this very kind of stretchy spandex liner. I like these. The only thing is, like I said, I would just get my actual size, which is large, but I like these shorts. I'm gonna show you the dark ones, the black ones, and the design is exactly the same. The only difference is they obviously went with a black base instead of a I don't want to say white base because those are more like a light gray. So they went with a black base instead of a light gray base. But everything on them is the same. The embroider patch, the side profile of Ezio, the We Work in the Dark to Share the Light, everything's the same. Even the color of the liner is the same. All you're doing is getting just a different pair of shorts. And the nice thing about these shorts is they're kind of like streetwear. Like there's a little bit of spandex in them, so they stretch a little bit. You could work out in these if you want. But if you kind of just want to throw them on and go to the movies and throw on a hoodie or something like that, you could pull that off. Like this isn't necessarily workout specific attire. That's pretty much the entire drop. I'm gonna get now into my sizing recommendations for everything. I would say go true to size on everything. I stick with larges with them. I wear a large in all my other stuff and I don't have a problem. So I would say whatever your size is and your other clothes, stick with that, true to size. That's my sizing recommendation for everything in this drop. If you guys want a discount on this or anything else on their site, please use my discount code at checkout, Jemil, Jemil. It'll give you 15% off. Like I said, not just this, but anything else on their site. I hope you found this video helpful and let me know in the comments what you think of the clothes, and also tell me what your favorite Assassin's Creed game is. Mine is 2. That lives dear in my heart. 3 is probably a close second. Let me know what your favorite Assassin's Creed game is. If you never played Assassin's Creed, or let's say you don't like the series, you're like, I don't like it, it's lame. That's fine. Let me know what one of your favorite video games of all time is. You can't say the franchise, it has to be the specific game. So let's say you like Halo, it can't be, oh, I like Halo. It has to be the specific Halo game. Like, you gotta be specific. Let me know what you think in the comments. I wanna hear what you have to say. Let me know what you think about the clothes. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the love, and I'll see you guys in the next video.